Hi, welcome to week 16 of Discipleship Equip, and we're in week number 10 of the Discipleship Training Manual. I suppose there's a number of ways that you could summarize or put one word on our Christian faith. One of those words, I'm going to share a true story that I'd like to read for you here. It was Christmas Eve 1910, and General William Booth, the founder of the Salvation Army in London, England, was near the end of his life. His health was poor, and he was going to be unable to attend the Salvation Army's annual convention. Booth had become an invalid, and his eyesight was failing him. No one knew that he would not live to see another Christmas. Somebody suggested that General Booth send a telegram or some kind of a message to be read at the opening of the convention as an encouragement to the many Salvation Army soldiers who would be in attendance following Christmas and their many long hours of laboring and ministering to so many others through the holidays and the cold winter months. And Booth agreed to do so. Knowing that funds were limited, General Booth decided to send a one-word message. He searched his mind and reviewed his many years of ministry, looking for that one word that would summarize his life, his mission to the Army, and encourage others to continue on. When the thousands of delegates met, the moderator announced that Booth would not be able to be present due to his failing health and eyesight. The soldiers were not happy. But then the moderator announced that Booth had sent a message to be read with the opening of the first session. He opened the telegram and he read the one-word message. Others. Others. For centuries now, ever since the time of Moses, in Jewish homes, they have been reciting the Shema, which you are probably familiar with. It comes from Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4, where it says, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your strength." Jesus grew up in a home where the Shema was almost certainly recited. And yet, when he began his earthly ministry, he said, there's more. Because he took the Shema and he added something to it. And that something was this: love your neighbor as yourself. Today we know that as the great commandment. You shall love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, with all of your strength, with all of your mind, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. So essentially what Jesus was saying is the way that you show God that you love him is by giving your life to others. The Apostle Paul reaffirmed this also in Philippians chapter 2, where he said, "Do not merely look out for your own personal interests, but also for the interest of others. Have this attitude in yourselves, which was also in Christ Jesus." Now it's interesting as we think about making disciples and how disciples have been made for a long time. And we'd say, well, to make a disciple, you need to get them to attend church. You need to get them to study the Bible. And we'd have quite a list there that we would add for what disciples should do. And even Putnam in the last week too has affirmed, yes, those things are important. We need to get our disciples attending church. We need to get them studying their Bible and have their own plan for Bible study. But Jesus didn't talk about those things, did he? He never once mentioned you need to go to synagogue. He never once said, pull out the scrolls and start studying them. As important as those, Jesus, I believe, understood those things were important as the culture he was speaking in. They all understood the importance of doing those kinds of things. But what he told us to do was to get our hearts and minds focused on others, on our neighbors, and serving and giving to them. And so that's why this week in Discipleship Equip, the theme is minister, helping young adults help others. And so Putnam's getting across the point that one of the ways we know we have succeeded in being a disciple maker is when we help those we are discipling to find their place in serving others. And having that outward focused heart that is focused upon not themselves, not their own self-interest, not their own desires, but Father, what is it that you want me to do to be helping others, whatever the situation might be? So that may be inside the church, it may be outside the church, it's going to be in the home, it's going to be in the community, it could be somewhere around the world, but helping our disciples to see that the pathway to maturity includes a heart that is focused on serving others. Why? Because Jesus said so. Jesus said, love your neighbor. So I hope you have a great week and help us continue to seek how we can serve others ourselves and help our disciples to do the same.